Jesus, they're in their gold shirts and green shorts. Egypt in the red shirts and white shorts. It's new territory for Egypt, the first time they've progressed from the World Cup group phase. And Australia hoping to win a knockout match for the first time ever. As to the eventual winners, Argentina here in 2022, and they'll potentially meet them again on Tuesday. Whoever wins here will meet the winner of the Argentina-Cape Verde side. That game follows this match. Mohamed Salah in the starting lineup tonight. Jackie, over here with Warren Barton, former England defender. Where's he going to play?
He's going to stood right next to the young player that's come in. The young kid is quick. Until we've seen the Colorado Rapids, he's come onto the scene. He's been a regular in MLS. He's never come across someone like Mo Salah. It'd be interesting to see the injury, how the hamstring is. I think looking at this game as well, the midfield area is where maybe O'Neill can maybe dominate the second balls, picking up the second ball, and then allow a little bit on the counter-attack.
Harrington, the 18-year-old Colorado Rapids, getting in touch in there is Marmouche. So much talk about Salah, but the quality that Marmouche provides as well. He looks like for Manchester City, and that's a top-quality footballer.
They're not a one-man show. They've got players on the back that are solid. They can bring the ball forward. And obviously, they've got the number 10. But you're right, Jackie, not only him, but they can drop in the hole. Zeus is another good player. So they very much interchange. They're not going to stay up there. And that's difficult for a back five to pick up. And straight away, they are a back five. They're going to pin back a little bit. Three strikers for Egypt are going to squeeze up and occupy the five.
There's who's in tonight due to injury to Fatu, the regular left back that have had injury problems, and good player as well in midfield, with the player that had started every game, played every single minute in there as well. And she suspended for this game, but opportunity knocks. Biggest game of their lives. And there's again. Both sides runners up in their respective groups. Australia to the United States in Group D, Egypt to Belgium in Group G. And those two sides will meet. USA against Belgium at Lumenfield, Seattle on Monday. What a game that will be.
A lot of atmosphere as well.
Swept forwards by Mara. Looking for a short.
He's a player to watch. He's number 8 he's a very talented player. He's got the freedom to run, which goes out the right, he come in the middle, got the goal as well already in this tournament.
Fabulous goal against Belgium before Lukaku forced the own goal from Haney as the equaliser.
Watch out for his celebration as well. The collar in the ground as well. He's stretching out.
Haney with the ball in. We love this stadium, don't we? It's enormous, it's got a roof on, which we're very grateful for because it's 94 degrees out here in Dallas. It's Nestoria and Kunda. Turns on the Jets. And that was an interesting talking point amongst the Aussies in the build-up to this game. Who would play up front? Mo Torre, 6'1", more of a proper number 9 if you like, but they wanted to utilise the pace of Viran Kunda in behind, and his movement is going to be key today, right?
Yeah, he's not going to be a striker that's going to try and stay up and hold the ball. He's going to work the channels, and as he did against Turkey, both of the players are very, very good to run in behind, make defenders, and that's will create a little bit of space for the Australian team to get on the ball and pass. So sometimes it's a winning run, like he just did there. Push forward, leave a little bit of pressure, and then you can get further up the field. And that's what I'm talking about. The 22-year-old picks it up, no hesitation on that left foot. Wonderful technique and just skips off the top. And there's a warning sign straight away. We speak about Egypt having ball, having possession. But Australia's been so efficient in what they do.
He was born in the Sydney area, but he's left on for his life in Italy after he was rejected from a couple of academies in Australia. He came home crying for the party after that rejection, and his parents shut up shop literally. He started a shop and they moved to Italy, and he's forged himself a career there. A very late change of heart in terms of his international allegiance, having represented Italy youth on their system. And now here he is at the World Cup. Italy, of course, aims to qualify extraordinarily for the third time in a row.
That was a lovely piece with his father, actually. He knew it was Australian because it was not. That's where he didn't come up with. He didn't like it being Italian, the style that I have. But he's a little bit of an X-factor. The managers were chasing him, asking him to come along, and he had the opportunity to play in the World Cup, and he's grabbed it with both hands.
Played by Suter. Very tall back three, Australia. That was part of the press conference. A few questions on that, actually. They've got Chipalti, 6'3", Harry Suter, somewhere between 6'5" and 6'6", depending on reports, officially 6'5", and Harrington 6'3" as well. The fact that Egypt can't necessarily match. What about the pace to match Boss here? This is what he's known for. Johnny Boss is in.
Oh boy.
Intervention from Robbie Rabia.
Watches a play. He's ugly wants to be on that left-hand side, but because you play on the right, you always want to come inside. A tremendous athlete, sweet left foot, no hesitation when he went through. I was speaking to one or two people, do you lose his balance on that left-hand side? They said, no, he's quite happy to come inside, and that was a desperate tackle in the end. And I think it just shows, like, you know, they're not going to sit back. You know, the guys in the studio say, they're not just all guys going to sit back. They've got players that want to go forward, players that want to hurt, and this set piece is an area that they can do that. I mean, look at the height in there, in the penalty area.
And O'Neill. First one again. To Volpatos at the first shot of the game. Back to O'Neill.
See, I won't complicate it. The first one was not complicated. I would put the ball because the Egyptian back four and their team are expecting that. So do not disappoint them. Put the ball in there and let them try and figure it out.
Especially as we were talking about the height, and we're talking about trying to combat that through the collective, but they haven't tested them. 3 players over 6'3" in the defence alone.
Well, you see the two captains standing there, like Mo Salah's looking up at the ceiling at this fantastic stadium because that's where Australian captain was. Use what you've got. You know, you're maybe not a team that can possess the ball and pass the ball, but they're efficient. They know exactly what they are. They are identities. They're not going to deviate from that. Paducah, Harry Cole, them type of players, them legends. Mark Schultz, but Birch has come in, the young goalkeeper. He's been for that, and the main reason I think a lot of that was really good with his feet.
That was a shock, wasn't it? We did our opening game against Turkey, and 2 big shots were that Irvine didn't start in midfield, and Paul O'Connor did really well. The experience preferred today in the middle there, and Patrick Beach plays for Melbourne City. A hitch. Paddy Moda is vastly experienced. Matty Ryan. And they test Beach here. Egypt yet to do so as yet. So many players who can strike the ball, including this guy, Salah.
Which again we see with the Turkey game, you know, they're not afraid to suffer. Australia, I mean, I think Turkey had 30 shots on record. I mean, maybe 2 or 3 that was excellent save by Beasley Duck. The last part they had possession and an attempt, but they are happy to do that. They're happy to sit back, look at the work that they've got, they shuffle across, midfield players come into areas, to just close up the gap. What they don't want is Egypt to get the ball to feet in the penalty area. They want it, they don't mind a cross.
He's got Paxo. He's a really classy player. Again, free kick for Australia.
He does that well. He's a really intelligent player. Maybe not as quick as he was 10 years ago, 23, but he's a player that understands the moments. Knowing that he had no outlet, entices the defender to make a tackle, you get a free kick, you've got possession, now you can hit that diagonal strike.
Jordy Boss, a player that Australia has loved to have on the ball, particularly in advanced areas. And his policy, the firewall man, that's a fan, he's such by background. Now Chipalti. Back to Boss. So positive, isn't he? Every time he gets the ball, Jordy Boss.
And he opens his well up. Gigati, another one, just getting on the far on here. He's another one that's being linked away for a move as well. He's at Palmer at the moment. when you ask about why that left foot coming inside, the whole picture opens up for you. I know I played there as a right-footed player playing left back. As soon as you come inside, the whole picture opens up for you.
It's extraordinary to think that Egypt will. He must have wished he knew what he was doing. Extraordinary that they never won a match in any FIFA World Cup finals until they beat the lowest ranked side here, 85th in the world, New Zealand in the group phase. Isn't it a look and it's calm and all.
No, under control. Don't worry. He's opening his body up, passes it out.
The 7-time African champions in the Africa Cup of Nations have never won any match in the World Cup. Absolutely extraordinary. And that's why they carry the weight as a nation here. Football, soccer being their sport. The Aussies have other sports that they love. And here's Ola Manouche, who can cause real problems. There's Manouche. Manouche again, and Irvine's there. And was that
I didn't know where it was as Higa comes around on his right side, he just hangs a leg out, and that's what you don't want to do against this team. Mamouche, you've seen him come out because he knows there's no space, that's why he's drifting out to this side. Doesn't know where he is, just puts out a leg, and now you've got the opportunity to test the young goalkeeper, putting into that danger area. If you look at the shape up to that far post now, whether you get a touch from a defender or your teammate, he's fine. This really suits the Watford club because they're so deep. It's so deep. If they was up maybe 5 yards, then with his left foot he can put it into an area. But it's a quality player. But I'd look to go across that far corner to see if there's a rebound or a ricochet that comes along.
Yes! I want Egypt to win.
Keep the ball alive, bounces around, and just look at him drift into that area. He's not picked up, and he's clearly onside of the ball delivered. He's coming onto the ball, which gives him the momentum and the power to put that into the back of that. Billionaire struts that we've seen with Conor McGregor, we're seeing it now in the World Cup. What a header! His timing and perfection, he heads it low and down, he doesn't go back. He would have been proud of that goal.
Well, that's only the second ever goal for his country, scored by Emam Ashur. The first one was a huge one against Belgium as well. He has a real sense of occasion.
And for Australia, they'd be hugely disappointed to concede a goal from a cross. Maybe a shot from outside, maybe a combination. We speak about the height, but if the ball is at the highest level, and then the timing of the run is there as well. And I said he was a player. He's got great enthusiasm for the game. And as we've seen in this World Cup, I mean, look at him smiling. He's just calming himself down at the moment because what a start that is for him and his team and the nation.
Now Australia need to do something that they haven't done for 3 weeks. They score a goal. Chikati on the throw.
Just by that ball, and it was brought up in a press conference 5 or 6 times about the crosses, the second ball, the physical side of the game. They dealt with it really well Egypt against New Zealand, but it bounces around, the bodies are there. He just drags his shot wide. And when you've had that type of goal, you're always vulnerable because you think, just take a side and think, yeah, we've done it. No, you've got to be alert, you've got to be switched on.
turns 28 tomorrow, same day as his coach turns 53. Will they be packing their bags? And there he is, Tony Popovich, first man to play and lead his nation to the World Cup in Australia.
They won't panic. You know, they would expect in a game it's going to be flows. I mean, we've seen that with games with Croatia and Portugal last night. I think it's over. No, it's not. You know, let's disallow. There's so much going on in this tournament.
Well, if it was a goal scored in the 94th minute, it's still be nowhere near over in this tournament. Such is the nature of it. It's been exciting.
It's been a fabulous. You know, the figures with nearly 32 million people watching the US game at their peak.
Mamouche for Egypt looking to turn the screw here. Mamouche! And then Suter.
And a big Leicester player puts his chest in all over. You could just sense the danger. And Mamouche always want to come inside. Just keep hold of the ball now. That's right. Just don't try and force anything. Just need to very clear your heads.
Looking to use his pace.
He's got to go down the side. He's got to go down the middle with the two centre halves. They're going to deal with that. Take defenders into areas they don't want to go. Run him in the channels. You might get a throw in. You might even get the ball, get a corner.
He has the support of Volpato, who's a tricky, clever footballer. New to this side, but brought in because of his talent, fully grown up. Mentor being Francesco Totti, that's not bad. He played under Mourinho, gave him his debut there. Volpato.
But the wing-backs for Australia have to make a decision because the wide players for Egypt are tucking in, and that's allowing Egypt to have so much space in there for their fullbacks, so they can have the ball and pockets around. Both fullbacks for Egypt stay really wide. So as a wing-back, I've got to make a decision. Do I pick the attacker, or do I go and pick the wide player, the fullback?
Just two places separating these sides in the FIFA World Rankings. Australia 27th in the world, Egypt 29th. This would be the first ever knockout victory for Egypt, were they to see this through ultimately in their fourth World Cup. Them in 1934, but they did play straight in the group stage then, straight into a 16-team knockout phase where they lost to Hungary and then didn't qualify down to 1990. They lost to a right header against England when they finished bottom of the group. Also finished bottom of the group in 2018 and didn't qualify 4 years ago in Qatar, so this would be enormous for them. Goran Kunda. Watford man looking to turn and run. Irvine over the top. Cross. And clearing the corner. Not going to get it.
Ricochet could have been one off the hand. That's what maybe Bosch was asking for as well. Just that must play into your mind that it's been 3 weeks since you scored a goal for Australia. I know you comment that was positive. I thought the US was excellent against Australia at the start of the game. They was on the front foot, and Australia, as good as they was against Turkey, they couldn't manage the energy and the quality that the US were playing. And then at the end, the last game was a little bit of making sure we don't get beat. So then to go into a game where it's a knockout situation, it's a difficult mindset to have because you've been used the last 2 games just to grind out and maybe not create the chances that you would like.
Yeah, 2-0 defeat against the United States on the 21st of June in Seattle. And then a goalless draw, which frankly suited both sides. Not a classic in Santa Clara 7 days ago, so they've each had a full week since their last game. Egypt having drawn with Belgium with that, I'm sure, fabulous goal. He scored again here. beating New Zealand for their first ever World Cup finals win in that super dramatic draw, the 1-1 draw with Egypt in Seattle. Oh my goodness, we're doing another game when we turn to the screen to watch the end of that one. And poor Iran, thought they'd done enough to go through it.
I think it just sums up the tournament. We had that same feeling last night with Croatia and Ronaldo.
Just forwards, first time back, fancy, and there could be in here. And they're straight
Oh.
Well, the flag's gone up anyway.
That's what they do. They play on the edge because of a background. Although they play far, they're quite high. There's no pressure on the ball. A little flip around the corner. They have to let the game go out. The officials. But even then, he's touched this one. He's just stretching and he's going down. Pulls it wide, but the flag has gone up. Like we said with Australia, they do have a high line, and if there's no pressure on the ball, you've got to have a tendency as a defender to drop off just as about the player's going to put his head down.
Argentina coming up next today, Lionel Messi facing Cape Verde. That's live in Miami. Coverage starting at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific. And Fox, John and Stu, be calling that game for you. And the winner, you know by then who they would face in the next round. The winner of this game. Golden Boot race, absolutely fascinating this tournament. Some massive names in there. Now here come the Aussies. I'm sure the goal scorer conceding the corner.
But now just got it. They're the times he's trying to get the ball in, but we've seen how well Egypt players work, the right players come back and hustle and close off areas. Only with Australia not really shown enough going into the final third. This could be an area where you can maybe attack the ball. There's a big line of Australian players there. They've obviously figured out where he's going. Well, someone needs to go around the back. Someone will take people near post.
Christian Volpato, swing out of play on Harrington. A couple of corners now that have been disappointing for Aussies.
Yeah, I think he's down to a little bit of nerves to the game. What an occasion it is for these players. I mean, he's 18 years old. He plays for Colorado Rapids, and all of a sudden he's playing against Mo Salah. So from that point of view, they just need to maybe use this time now, Jackie, just to clear the heads and refocus. But what a finish.
It's the final day of the round of 32 here at the FIFA World Cup. Egypt on to the good against Australia. Egypt ranked a couple of places below Australia in the world rankings. A huge team talk here during the hydration break from Tony Popovich.
Yeah, I love that idea as well. They can now get to their players, and you just look at the faces of Australia. They need a bit of guidance. Now, do we push forward? Do we try and force the game? And does that leave us open? And then Hazan, the other coach, is vast experience, talking majority to forwards about maybe showing them inside when they can press. So using this time wisely to get the instructions on. It's hard to do that when there's 70,000 people screaming and shouting. So utilising this time to get their point across, make sure they understand. And this is then the second phase of the game, is making sure if we can get another goal, what we don't want to do, Egypt, is concede free kicks, concede corners, where they're obviously very strong in Australia. But take nothing away when they go forward. Marmouche is a player that is clever enough not to go up against the back line. He's going to run into corner. One of my favourite actors just come on there.
Samuel Jackson, the legend is. And this guy will go down as a legend after scoring 2 goals here at the World Cup for Egypt. And I'm sure most of these players play in their home country. One for the future.
Right from the same club as well, so they have that club mentality. They all stick together and they all understand the traits that they have, and that's what can help you go through the knockout stage, understanding the traits you do as a defender, as you do as an attacker.
Michael Santamana played for Al-Ahly, including scorer Shaw. Just wonder, Warren, how talking point has been a striker situation for Australia. They don't have a nailed-on number 9 to start. No Troy has had his injury problems. He's in the second tier in England, as does Australia on Kunberg, who scored against Turkey after the other goal there. It's 3.5 hours of playing time since Australia last scored a goal.
I play them together. I put Going down the middle, sliding across on the left hand, because it worked perfectly against Turkey. They had the foundation in midfield, experienced players that are going to cover O'Neill, Metcalf, then players do that, and then allow the two players to cheat a little bit, stay in their area where they cause them problems.
Here's Metcalf. One of those scorers in Vancouver. That was a goal at the break.
But also, because of the fear of the pace, they dropped off, and that's why he had that little bit of space. They haven't got into the game yet, Australia. I think they can't figure out where they've got to press, how they're going to go into the team, and then the goal is obviously given a little bit of a net back, but that's fine. You know, that's as players, a young group of players. I'm one of the youngest squad of players in this knockout stage still.
Yeah, there's 4.5 years in terms of the average age difference between the two starting lineups.
In terms of, I say what you said, they said that, you know, the experience shows, you know, players that have been there, seen it, done it. Particularly in these type of environments, they've seen games, they've seen people get knocked out.
There's more one going in today for the suspended Lasheen, taking a couple of yellow cards in the group stage. Single yellow to wiped after the group stage, but if you picked up 2, then you're missing for the next game. White again after the quarterfinals, the single ones. Zico. Oh, Salah, we've seen so many Salah Liverpool shirts here, haven't we, of those left the club now? Pursuing other opportunities, possibly going to Saudi Arabia. Who knows? But he picked up a hamstring injury, his left hamstring in April for Liverpool. And it's apparently the same hamstring that he felt in the last game against Iran. He has started here, probably in the back of his mind, I remember.
We used to run hot, as you say, there's 6-7 days in between. That's quite a good length of time, 7 days to recover over that hamstring injury. You see with Christian Pulisic that had that calf injury, he was back, he looked fine behind the games, and Mo Salah's one of them players that you need it. It just gives you a presence, it gives you an outlet, and also it takes his mind away from other people. As a former Arsenal player, as well. He'll be proud of his nation, how they're doing it. That was good night for Arsenal. It's not going to different, actually.
Moosh chasing this one down. This is the stadium, by the way, where Spain and Portugal will be going head-to-head on Monday night.
You see Ronaldo's face when they said about that, he sort of had a look about, he can't wait for that game. You know, I think there's a little bit of animosity with one or two of their players. Particularly the young player on that right-hand side, and now he's starting to get some form, and there's no surprise by him getting fitter. They're starting to click, and it was a much-needed performance that they did. And it's a very mixed team.
Well, you're empty seat here on Monday night, my goodness. It is a very distinctive stadium with enormous screens right in front of us.
So there he is, my man. Real legend.
Samuel L. Jackson. Into football, soccer.
In Mexico City, that's a game that I will be getting down nice and early and getting ready for that game.
Wear your England shirts, any old ones left?
Got a few. They don't fit, but I've got a few. Might be a bit snug.
Went to downtown Dallas the other day and saw a Gascoigne England shirt and so $450. Oh, Kunda, right down there. And there's a free kick to Australia. Hasn't really used his pace as yet to any kind of damaging effect as far as Egypt are concerned.
But also as well, he's not a player that wants to play down there. He likes to play off of people a little bit wider. So you're asking him to do a job that he's not used to. That's what he wants to do. He wants to work the channels, get behind, make defenders make decisions. Maybe a little bit of this is the contact, but also not to pick up the yellow card, because that's a tackle that you'd really think the referee would come across with. It does look like he's in a lot of pain.
Mohamed Haley, the right back. And if you do have any other absences, the very central defender in the last game is injured as well.
Well, he's one of the players that's played every minute, so they haven't had to come someone in and use him as well. Look at the just gets outflanked by a quicker player.
It was really unfortunate to score their own goal against Belgium in that one-on draw, very much forced by the presence of Romelu Lukaku, who'd only just come off the bench seconds earlier.
It just shows you, what we've seen, just cross the ball into areas, a couple of ricochets here and there. The USA obviously got one earlier on against Paraguay. That gives you a bit of relief. There's been own goals, but you said Lukaku put you under pressure. It looks like if it is a contact, it should be okay, but it might be a dead leg, we don't know. But they'll have to stay off the field, and this is, again, I repeat myself, an area that they can take these chances.
The set pieces haven't been great so far. A couple of corners, missed opportunities really in terms of the delivery. And they reiterate the height they have, the three central defenders over 6'3", plus the likes of Jackson Irvine, who's 6'2". Now this delivery. And Irvine is in there. And Chikatsu just couldn't get hold of it.
They just couldn't dip his shoulder enough to get it down. But there is a little bit of panic there. It wasn't particularly, again, they get another good delivery, but you've got the bodies flying in, making sure the second ball bobbles around. There's two Egyptian players down, and just couldn't quite dip his right shoulder to get it on target. Comfortable in the end.
It's been made very clear to me in the press conference yesterday, talking to some of the Egyptian journalists, that this is by far the best team they've ever had, in their opinion, and by far the biggest game they've ever played as well. The opportunity to win a first ever knockout match at a World Cup. And finished bottom of their group in the previous two.
If you need another reminder, there's the US game. And I agree with Landon Donovan, what he said. I think the Belgium actually suit the way I watch them play. I think they've got technical ability, there's no doubt about that, but I think the way they set up themselves, the biggest thing for Pochettino now, who's going to play up front. That's a dilemma why he gets paid the money. It's never a red card. But we have to adjust now, we have to see what we've got.
And here's Behic, veteran. High boss. Volpato. Oh, a lovely little ball around the corner looking for Watts. He's now out of position. Volpato.
Egypt had just got into that situation where they got the goal and they was on the front foot, then backed off and allowed the opposition to start having some joy in the ball. And now it's hard to get that second gear, third gear to start going through, because there's no doubt if they lift the tempo and the pace, Egypt will cause Australia lots of problems in the final third.
Chikatsu with a long throw looking for Irvine. Harrington with a high. Aaron Kunda looking to turn. Oh, and that's a shot on target with any kind of venom from Behic.
Yeah, they're plugging away, they're grinding, they're chipping away. It's not vintage soccer by a long way, but there's bodies, there's panic station. They're not disappointed, the opposition. If they fear you, and all the conversation in the press conference was about the physical side, the corners, the set piece, well, go and do it. Go and put them under pressure. And just by throwing the ball in, they've had 7 attempts, very tame attempts, but one's on target. Then you're starting to ask questions and you start to put a doubt in their mind.
Experience in the likes of Behic on his third World Cup. He's sort of a manufacturing organs of boss, but now he's been forced to play on the right due to Jacob Italiano's injury that he's sent home. There's a loose one. Salah looking to pick it up.
So Egypt need to pick it up, because at the moment they haven't got any room. The first 7-8 minutes when the game starts, wow, this could maybe get out of hand a little bit. But we spoke about it, Jackie, we've said it that the Australians, they are not going to give up, and they are not going to go down the back stairs.
We should be alert to the danger.
Good starting position by the goalkeeper. But that's him. The little ball's down the side, let it bounce. Put some doubt. Look at that little run in behind. Maybe it could have been more to his right-hand side so he can let the ball run, but they are petrified of his pace. I just know as a defender, the last thing I want to do is face my own goal.
Only 20 years of age, Nasrir Nkunda, the Watford man in the English Championship, has linked with a £10 million move to Sam can see it right in front of him.
And there's a sign of Australia getting comfortable, getting confident, and doing little pirouettes, little stopping the ball, coming round. They've grown into the game. When you thought of Egypt, they've got the goal. Are they going to go on the ascendancy? Are they going to be the team to put it away? And you've seen in this competition, particularly in the knockout stage, while it's still 1-0, it's a dangerous game to play.
One thing these Aussies have, grit, determination, in abundance.
Everyone's showing I know whether it's rugby, cricket, their football or soccer, they put everything into it. They don't go down without a fight.
Tennis, swimming.
Yeah,
They're very into
that's
most
the side, yeah. They're not bad at any other sports as well.
They love their soccer as well. Toes corner. Away by Rabia.
You're looking at Mo Salah there. He didn't go 100%, did he? He just eased up. No trainer, no physio, but it wasn't that blistering pace that we know. He's not the Mo Salah that he was. He's 34 years of age and 120 caps.
And also physically, dancers are different when you're that age, aren't they? And so if you've got that kind of concern in the back of your mind, you know why you go back with niggles, but when it's a hamstring,
You are conscious of that, and that was a big part of his game, being explosive.
usually Behic on the right-hand side now, Jordy Ross on his favoured left. They're both left-sided. Interesting to see whether it changes or whether it stays like that. We haven't seen so much of Salah as yet, but we all know it only takes a moment for that legend of the game to come to life. One opportunity, Marwan looking to set them playing now.
There's about that, the fullbacks.
He's Haley, he's okay after that injury a few moments ago.
Telling him to get the ball right. He's jumping up and down and he's technical. He's not happy when they're playing the walking pass because you can't at any level just switch it on and off. They're not that type of team. They're not France, they're not Argentina, they're not a team that can slow it down.
Jordy Ross has been penalised here. He's wondering what for. One scorer short.
He's putting out his elbow to block it, and maybe he's running into his elbow. You know they're coming, so you just block them off. You just put your arm out and he's run into it. No decision, you know they're coming as a fullback. I've been there, you just put your arm out and hopefully they run into it. But referee sees this as a free kick.
It's a big opportunity for Egypt. They scored from them. The second attempt, and Shaw with a header.
There's a lot of fans here earlier. He was here like 4 hours before and then he's coming along doing a parade. You think with the left foot.
It's a familiar sight. Mohamed Salah. And the Australian defence will be on red alert here. There's a Uruguayan referee, Gustavo Tejera, intervenes. Shaw leaving it for Salah. Marwan. Into the danger area now. Here's Marmouche. Cross with the clearance.
Ron Marshall again. Australia, the flag goes up for offside. Not the way that Egypt are trying to improvise a little bit with their set pieces. They know if they just follow in, it's going to come flying back, so they're trying to improvise and get better angles. They did for the goal, they come out second time, good delivery. Australia wasn't picking up at the far post. But after that, I think Australia will be happy, you know. If it's the coach, they've maybe tweaked it here and there. Can they get a little bit more support to the forward?
I don't think he'll change it at half-time in terms of Mo Toure coming on,
Yeah,
a bit more height, more of a career centre-forward specialist.
Yeah, I would as a player, I would bring him on because, again, that natural pace in behind, the understanding that they have, and give them a little bit more support.
Aaron Kunda desperate to turn and run at this Egyptian defence. He might get a chance as it got out.
Well, do you take early enough? Do you need two, Metcalf, O'Neill? Do you need three similar players? I'd say no. I'd say slot them a little bit. We've got a few up front and we're going to put them under pressure. Because they've shown vulnerability that they don't want to run in behind. They don't want to ask questions. If it's in front of them, they're happy.
Ryan and Metcalf used to playing together in the German Bundesliga. They've both just been relegated with St. Pauli. Whether the energy and running power of Metcalf might possibly be sacrificed for Aaron Kunda, maybe dropping into that kind of role, and then Toure playing more centrally up front and asking questions of the central defence.
That's what I would do. I would take one of my midfield players that are very similar to what I do. But he's the man who makes the call. He hasn't had the same line-up since his tenure that he's been there. But we're looking at Pochettino. What's he going to do as a striker? What's he going to adjust there? That's why they get the money. That's why they're there.
Two very highly respected head coaches in the technical areas today. The legendary Hassan Hassan, all-time leading goal scorer for Egypt.
He was a gentleman, wasn't he? Press conference, the way he spoke to journalists, plenty of time. I thought he was really impressed me.
60 next month. So was the African winning captain at the age of 40, won it with them 3 times, so a real legend of the game, being highly regarded by supporters. Coming up, by the way, the Bank of America halftime show on Fox. We've got Jaws with Javier Hernandez, Brad Seedorf, and Landon Donovan. Just thought Aaron Kunda was going to turn and run there.
But that shows you, look at the start, the momentum that they had. You think at the beginning they've allowed Australia just to have little periods, not sustained periods, but little periods to get in the game and get some momentum. And that's given them confidence and belief. When you have a team that is vulnerable, you've got to take that chance and put them down.
The next goal could be pivotal in this last 32 time. The winner will be the winner of the Argentina 8:30 game, which is coming up next on Fox. That's from Miami. Now Irvine in towards O'Neill, who is he caught late. In he goes now. Hitch. The interception now looking for a runner.
They don't force it. They work so hard to get it, and then he's looking to hit a killer. Just a 5-yard pass, just to keep the ball moving. O'Neill does a great job. He really does.
I'll tell you what, he did a great job in the press conference yesterday, giving absolutely nothing away. He's a press officer's dream. He said literally nothing. We have a minimum of 5 minutes to be added on here in Dallas, under the roof, in the climate-controlled conditions. 94 degrees it is outside.
It's a magnificent stadium. I'll be lucky enough to go and visit, whether it's in Philly or Foxborough or these, but this is wonderful.
Oh, lovely play by Shaw. Now, if this comes to something, you'll be watching that back a few times. Manouche. There is again the Manchester City man. Marwan. And Mo Salah on the end of that with his head, but he's up against the height of Harrington.
Yeah, he did well. Actually, went with the run. But that, why don't you do that more? As soon as they lift the tempo, they get in, they create a chance. It's a dangerous game. If you think you can see the game out, with a team like this, they're not going to give up. There is a set piece, and they will make changes. They've got players that can influence the game.
He's got that, so if he can influence the game, all right, so he's going to go for goal.
He'll be disappointed because he tried to shape it with that left foot, but just got the end of it. You can see here, just got the end of his foot. Instead of trying to curl it, like a certain David Beckham would do, or someone with their left foot, and Messi would just get his foot around it so it curls in, and that one just gets off the end of his toe, and it goes away. And little signs, and look at the frustration. This is a team that are winning 1-0. They're winning, but he wants them to play, he wants them to express themselves. So there's probably 30,000 Egyptian fans that have come to see him.
Metcalf. Suitor. And 2 have done with him, that's fair to say. Very much in central defence, but Scotland's loss is Australia's gain. Metcalf. Irvine. He says something for Australia here in stoppage time at the end of the first half. Chikatu. Looking for the hitch. Back in towards Eric Kunda. The final touch before the keep on.
They're not comfortable with deliveries. And again, they haven't got huge heights in the final third of Australia, so keep putting the ball in. They're not comfortable with the ball being played in. And when you have a striker that's maybe got a little bit more physical presence,
Even if he doesn't change personnel at half-time, Warren, what do you think Tony Popovich will want to tweak tactically from this Australia side?
instead of playing the ball down, it will go down the sides. You've either got your wing-backs or you've got your centre forward that loves to run in them areas. If it's in front of the back four of Egypt, then you deal with it. Turn around, let them face their goal. Again, it's not the one kick in the corner. It's a service ball into an area that only a defender can't run a goal. And for Egypt's point of view, you lift the tempo. Lift it because you've got into a rhythm in the game that is slow, it's pedestrian. You let the opposition pass the ball. He's got 3 seconds there to find a pass.
He's boss. O'Neill. Volcato. Irvine trying to it forward to somebody.
And that's 2 clearances they've just lifted up in the air. It's nearly hit the big screen. It does. You know, they've got to show a little bit more composure on the ball. They need half time.
Zero Kunda comes across. Aaron says the referee, his boss is still down in the crumble heap. And now Volcato. He's going for the far post again. Calmly done by Ramush. His boss is still down on the ground. They have to put it out, of course. Carrington. And here's O'Neill. Surrounded by red shirts. O'Neill has Behic.
Just keep it up. Keep your momentum. Keep your discipline. Keep just trying to find a great shot and just keep the ball moving.
And the next 20 seconds before the break is Boss is really unhappy as well, finally it's put out. It's only a head injury, you have to put the ball, you have to stop play for it. They wanted a free kick for that.
The problem now, what will happen, there's a tackle as he goes in, crunching tackle as he feels it. The referee played advantage on right side. You can see he's coming. It's a collision, it's a tackle, it's just part and parcel of the game.
These wonderful players, they really have to be without Australia if they're to get back into this game. There's Hayes second down the right flank. There is usually a left-sided player, but he's a real quality player in their ranks. And there is the half-time whistle as Jordy Boss continues
There's
to
the
receive
first
treatment.
half.
And that is a headache for Tony Popovich. And they've got to find a way back into roof in Dallas. Egypt, a goal to the good after that header from Emam Ashur. Oh, and they're on the attack. Looking for a kick-off. What an opportunity for Omar Mamouche.
Well, I wonder he's hitting the ground because you think just pass it in the corner here. He's just leaning back. And he just gets it with his toe, doesn't get another quality around it. And then he got punched into the back of the corner. Wow, what a chance that is.
He beat the substitute quite true into the ball. He finally had a chance to look around this arena before he was called into action, which was presumably part of the plan.
Yeah, he was then trying to exploit straight away. And good to see Egypt start the second half well and be positive going forward. They have the quality, they have the players. So it looks like they're targeting that area as well.
Gary Fingers stay down after that challenge, and now will be a free kick for a foul by Zico.
He's still down, he's still laying down. He looks like he's in a bit of agony as well. Not a good start for Australia, using muscles. An outstanding player with that left foot, the energy, the pace that he's got. He got carried up, he's another player. Just just as he fell down, and there's a little nudge in the back.
This was a challenge on Aaron Kunda. It was handed over down.
Very landed. I'd expect more of this. It wasn't that type of game. I was expecting more of a physical guy, people going in for tackles, but it sort of drifted along the game. Right about to Egypt just getting the early goal.
Now Christian Volpato throwing up the left foot here, eager to test this goalkeeper. He's left it. He's brought Harry Suter up for the back and he wants it again. Here he is, Suter. And now Irvine moving it and Suter still there. And it was Colin Metcalf who got the touch, and now there's a real problem here. The Egypt players are really concerned about the welfare of their teammate. Well, he fell and got caught in the Australian sandwich at the far post for that ball in.
Well, we called the medical staff as well, take it straight away. Maybe it's his last
Caught between those two, but yeah, the way that passes head over tail.
the medical staff are not really getting there too quickly, but the referee did the right thing, stops his head injury just as he landed. That's a good sign. That's a really good sign. He's actually out, and you hit it straight away. But it's the way he landed, and that's why it's holding the back of his head. Have to be conscious about that. And they've made a big effort over recent years with player safety, concussion, just making sure they're okay. The medical staff are looking after the player.
Haney, the right back, was affected, but the reaction of his teammates straight away made you concerned for his welfare. This is a little surprising that he's up straight away. Certainly they need to continue, but the medical staff are much closer to the action.
Yeah, it looked like as he just run into Metcalf, and just as he landed, but he seems well enough to get onto it. The medical staff are now behind the goal, just walking around. I always think it's best for the medical staff to have a look and speak to him, but the head injury is a concern.
Normally a player would have to go off after receiving treatment. Oh, he is. Belated there. He has to stay off for a minimum of a minute, regardless of how the incident happened, whose fault it was, any of the above. The idea being to try to restrict the number of players who maybe try to time waste, even if that's clearly not the case here. It is the same rule for everyone. So it's the first break of play after a minute of play has elapsed. The players are back onto the field.
You just wondered if that challenge would emerge fairly well in the game. There wasn't settled at the back of Australia. Do you think 2-0? You never know in this tournament because there's been lots of 2, that would be a big cushion for Australia to go forward, considering they last time they scored the first game. So they've got 2 games without putting the ball into the back of the net.
It's been half now, haven't they? Didn't score against the United States, didn't score against Paraguay, and now Haney is back on in his right back position. Hopefully he'll be okay.
That was one Jackie against the US. They didn't look like he was going to score either. That could be, although they're having chances, but have they got that punch to get the ball into the back of the net? Have they got a striker that can do that?
Egypt have so much quality. They have Mo Salah, who's playing within himself at the moment. His mind is that hamstring strain is not necessarily perhaps stretching himself at the moment until the moment comes when he needs to.
But just his presence is enough. He doesn't want to play out wide. He lets the 3 players behind him interchange. And that will be my question. Australia's got enough to pass the way through the team. Or is it going to be a set piece? They haven't done yet, Australia. Maybe they're seeing their player, their star player, not come out with that injuries. It's such an important player to this team. Some nations can't go without that type of player. They're not got the depth.
He lost the final wing back of injured Naval Carter. He has the talent. Aaron Cooper. Naval Carter again. He's waiting in the centre. Still got Carter. towards Behic. O'Neill. Surely that's a good challenge. It's a goal kick. It's hard to do. There's so many green and gold shirts and white shirts in Egypt here as well in this arena in Dallas. Also landing that strike that Omar Mamouche had just from the restart, literally seconds after it, was the first that they had since the 16th minute of the game. I can understand it, Ron, psychologically in the biggest game of any of their lives.
I do, I get that. I understand that you get the goal and then you sit back, but also you had a team that was vulnerable that you played against, and you had the chance to get two and possibly even more in the style of football that they was playing. Egypt was passing the ball around, they looked really dangerous every time they went forward, and then they went back into that slow pedestrian way and allowed the opposition to go forward. You can see that they're much better team, they press hard up the field, they win the ball. And man for man, they've got better play, but we've seen that with Burnley, that we're going to see later on in the tournament. You know, it doesn't matter what a name on the back of the shoulder, if you work together collectively, that's England.
Screaming for it on the far side. He was desperate for a high and lofty ball from the hitch. He's Carrington, the Colorado Rapids 18-year-old. O'Neill. And the hitch. 25 years of age. One of the players with real World Cup experience. O'Neill was taken away from Zico. He's won a free kick for Australia.
Well, that's what they want. That's exactly what they want. Can you tie someone into Daniel Ford, get a free kick, everyone from the back pushes up, and just keep banging on the door to see if the chances come, because in open play, they haven't looked too dangerous.
O'Neill of New York City. Turning over this free kick. Teammates Ryan Truman having come onto the field as well. Reminder they have so much height to aim for. And what about the delivery this time from O'Neill? O'Neill.
Just the presence and the delivery. You ask the question, can you put it in a dangerous area? It doesn't matter who puts it into the back of that. It's excellent delivery. They're onside when the ball's kicked, and then they just pile in there. It's an own goal. You look at it as the ball's played in, Jackie, as it's lifted in, the players are there. And come on.
It's another open goal for the right back, Mohamed Haini. He scored one against Belgium. He was under pressure from Lukaku that time, and this time
It is the being under pressure. They're not sure. Look at how he's trying to hit it. He's not coming onto the ball where he thinks he's going to get contact, and he sort of half backs and half attempts to clear it, and it skips off his head. If he goes with a bit more conviction, but they don't care, the fans, the Australians don't care. We said, keep banging on the door, ask the questions, and they've got something back. Now we're going to see what Egypt are really about.
the Aussies are back in the game. And the green and gold shirts, particularly behind that goal where thousands of them have gathered, are bouncing up and down, but there's plenty of them all around this stadium. And there's also plenty of Egypt shirts as well.
Now listen, he had that head injury as well. It's come on, maybe he doesn't feel comfortable heading the ball the way he did, because as a defender you want to come up and power it away, but he sort of flinched his shoulders and it skims off the back of his head.
250 minutes Australia have played since they last scored a goal against Turkey in their opening match almost 3 weeks ago.
250 seems to be the theme. is it? It seems to be the goals that we've had, and I think tomorrow will be a big celebration for everybody.
National having scored the 250th goal of this World Cup. And the drama it has produced has been exceptional, particularly in these knockout rounds. It's the final day of the round of 32, and it continues to deliver.
Well, when you're not playing well, you just need to get deliveries. And again, football-wise, the set piece is a big part of the game. They've lost key players. They just, as I said with the Australia, they keep going and they never give up.
Don't forget the quality that Egypt have had. They might have retreated a little to their shells after that short goal. Mo Salah, formerly of Liverpool, Marmouche of Manchester City, and Pontiers besides as well as the goal scorer, short.
And there's no doubt they've got players that can hurt us.
Kunda on a charge, gets pace.
It's got to go down the side. It's got to go, again, it's right down the side. If you get to see 18 now, the keeper's going to come out, he's got good possession.
But then, Lauren, say you'd have run up the channel and you're collecting the ball, there was nobody within about 40 yards of him.
Yeah, but you going for your team, you might get a corner, you might get a free kick, you're not necessarily, you're isolated. You should be too young to like that, just say, work it hard and we'll come and try and support you. You know, that's the story, that's how they're set up to play.
There might have been an own goal for Haley, but the height that we talked about throughout this game is such a threat. Now, what about the threat of Egypt here? Salah. Ideally wants to curl it in with his left foot, and so dragging him out. Affairs. Reminded their regular left back is out injured. Regular central midfielder, Rashid, who's played every minute, is suspended today. Had to change his centre halves as well after one was out injured. And they brought in Ibrahim. Mo Salah not fully fit, but he's here, he's on the field, and he can change the game in one moment of magic.
That's what you do. You do one down the side, you get the foul, you can then get a card, or should get a card, for example. I think that's what Rich is asking for. That's what you want to show, they just run down, take the centre halves into areas where they don't want to go.
Gustavo Tejera, of Uruguay referee, has opted to keep his cards in his pocket unless he left them in our team hotel. If I can get them from.
Yeah, they're all walking around there. Yeah, people, referees. So that's what he's asking for. How is that when my fans right in front of their bench? This is similar right to their midfielder, but that type of right foot curling it towards the goal. The Egyptian players are facing their own goal. Goalkeeper really doesn't want to come out because of the height.
We had both goals as a result of free kicks. Here's Emmanuel, a fashion neutraliser, and a goal from Haley. And here once again, running it in once again, and Harry Suter is up there. Harrington. Really important touch from True. Sense the confidence in these Australian players. They don't have much goal scoring confidence. Suter still up there, now with Hunter. Kunda. Metcalf. And Kunda got about the first time strike and he's closed out. That's a flash.
As he's probably been feeling about it, until he's just doing it. This is what Australia want. They want a physical game, they want a bit. Egyptian players have got to get on the ball, they've got to release their players, give it to your superstars, let them do their magic. But at the moment, they're finding it hard for Mo Salah to get on the ball. The centre half coming forward, just relieves a little bit of pressure. He's not had the influence that we would like. Maybe it's that hamstring. But just to have him around is enough for the other players.
I'm talking about 3 Australian defenders.
And again, you looked at Ronaldo yesterday, didn't really, but he takes the one. You know, he's a big time player. It might be something like that for Mo necessarily like a free kick or a penalty. Your players, you keep them on as long as you can.
You can scan the QR code to vote for your Piccolo Ultra Superior Player of the Match.
Don't vote yet. There's a long way to go.
Are we going to 30 minutes of extra time? It could be going to a penalty shootout.
I think we know to take it.
We just want to extend our stay over here, just a little bit longer. Bailey was okay after that. Had to be a blow to the head early in a few minutes ago.
And I didn't wonder with the delivery that was played in. He didn't head in with conviction. A little bit timid, and maybe, as I said, they're banging ahead of us. Just on this, a little second guess.
Sure. Here's Salah, just listen to the crowd. Looks like that's him to get on the board, to make something happen for Egypt.
But even there, seeing how short come deep the goal scorer, he's got high and nurtures a right midfielder. You have to have him more engaged. This is when the delivery's played in from the referee's view. And again, it's just that presence. The ball is a great delivery. I said the Australian fans are outnumbered. They're making themselves hard as well.
Well, coming up on Fox, Lionel Messi, you would have heard of him, and Argentina facing that Cinderella story, Cape Verde. They are lining up against each other in Miami after this. Coverage starting for that one at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific. John Strong and Stu Holden on that one, and that is the differential in FIFA World Rankings, number 1 against number 67. You just never know in this ridiculous game of ours. Penalties, red cards, all sorts of weather, all sorts of other interventions, apart from just talent and abilities. Who just pops off here in Kunda. And now here's Tony Popovic about to make a change any minute now, and it will be Mo Choi to come on and put the changes out as well. Some Hassan.
That doesn't surprise me. Just to maybe lift the tempo. I mean, you've got the two brothers there next to each other. There's no identity.
He was incredibly respectful, wasn't he, Hassan? Thanking journalists for their questions, for their presence, for their support. A really interesting question from one of the Egyptian journalists who said, "You're a different man now, you're much calmer. Is it because you've got a new media officer?"
Also, you bring your family, just to know you're in the media's there as well, so...
I did make this short. Only us. We've only asked about it, I think, in the Aussie. On the touchline is about to bring on a couple of players. Qasim Maguid, 6'4" centre-back. Perhaps not that surprising. And Hassan Hassan will come on for his first minutes of this World Cup. It's just a wave right there, isn't it? And the England supporters will be bringing up the wave on Sunday night. England is against Mexico in Mexico City.
What's it about?
I'm sure Harrington away. What a World Cup matchup that is, my goodness. We're talking about the altitude, potential weather as well. It might touch a Celtic, dangerously so. Now Egypt on the charge, looking for options. Salah wants it in the centre. Just loses his heel.
As they're attacking, there's still 6 red shirts defending 2 goal shots. You know, you've got to be brave enough to go forward. They just seem really cautious at the moment. But when you look at the player they've got up front, and go and support them, go beyond their senses. Every team that's looked to go forward and win the game normally get results. In the Netherlands, in their performance, I like to bring up the legendary Sego for this year, but they actually got what they deserved.
Had made the run, now that was a shoot. And by Bailey. I feel for the time with 2 World Cup own goals. Only the second player to do that. Bulgaria's Ivan Gustov is the other one, and that was back in 1966. Just trying to remember who won that World Cup, Lawrence. Just slip my mind for a moment. There's no need to make that double substitution. There's Hamdi Fatih, central midfielder, goes off. Hassan Abdul-Majid. There's Amalek coming on, 6'4" centre half. And so too Hassan Real Oviedo in Spain, winning his 5th cap, his first minutes of this tournament, the Paris-born player. Zico, the other player to go off. And it was being touted yesterday that perhaps Hassan, the number 12, could be the player to start in place of Mo Salah here, but he's on, he's looking to make a difference.
He looks like he's just coming to that midfield area just to try and break things up, just try and use his physical presence that time a little bit over tennis at the moment. But
there is the hydration break here in Cairo. It's 5:30 a.m. in Sydney, 3:30 a.m. in Perth. But they will all be up watching this game, and the Aussies have made sure that a lot of the bars are staying open. The licensing regulations have been waived for this game, such as the crucial nature of it. Neither of these sides has ever won a knockout match at a FIFA World Cup. You have to go back to 1934 since the last time Egypt even played in one. And that's because there wasn't a group stage back then. They lost to Hungary and they finished bottom of their group in their 2 subsequent finals. Here they have qualified for the first time for the group, and they led by Eman Ashur for quite some time. And they had an opportunity right in the second half, right from the restart, for Omar Mamouche of Manchester City to make it 2-0. And instead, the free kick from Aidan O'Neill, having teed up a full-size goal from Mohamed Hailey. And a reminder, the winner here will meet the winner of the match later on after this game between Argentina and Cape Verde. That's being played in Miami. And then later on in Kansas City, Colombia will meet Ghana for the right to play against Switzerland in Vancouver. But first things first, Warren, who's going to win this one, please?
I'll give it something, you might go to the very depth of the games, because that's been the story of this tournament. Everyone stays there, watches the game. No surprise with Australia putting lots of crosses in.
Pato, fast up from Australia. They catch Egypt ball here. In towards Irakunda. There's Sean Hostic is being given his instructions to come on. Maybe not Traore as well. See from the little tags underneath the Australia and Egypt boxing, the top left-hand corner of your screen, that the Aussies have used one sub, Egypt 2, Miss Hailey. And now the double sub is about to be made for Australia. Tension inside the stadium. Facing the 16 World Cup at stake.
They send the judges to make history. Jesse Francis, the new legends.
Hassan Hassan. Now Hafez, he's Charles due to injury.
But that's okay, it's gone side to side, it's not really hurting them. They don't want to deliver the ball because they haven't got anyone who can attack the ball. They've got to try and play their way in.
Watching Salah in the centre as it's away by Harrington, and now drops to Ashur again. He's complaining about the ball into him.
Well, that was a conversation that was out. So get in the middle. They want him in the middle. Too many times he drifts out to the right. They need him in there. He wants the ball right. He wants it to his feet, which is, obviously a correct statement, but they need to get it to his feet.
And Christian Ronaldo is coming off. You can see visibly disappointed. Turned down Italy with this chance here. The country of his birth, Australia.
We're telling him to get off quickly because you only have a certain amount of time, so that's what they're saying, get off the field, because if not, they've got to stay off the field until it's a minute, so there's a little bit of concentration there by the players from Australia. Get off, but fresh legs, fresh energy, more of a number 9, more of a striker that can receive the ball, but also work the channels as well.
Torre, the number 9 of Norwich City in the English Championship, coming on after his 10 goals and 12 goal contributions, no competition since signing for them in February. He has had his injury problems. He's in trouble, and Aiden Kristic, who turns 30 on Sunday, plays in the second tier in the Netherlands. Fresh legs for Australia. Harrington's been making the move to Barcelona, which would be huge for the Australian 18-year-old, currently with Colorado Rapids and MLS.
You've seen in that talk when Emirates was talking to the coach, he's got such a young face, and 18 years of age. You can only imagine what he feels about that, and that's how things can change so quickly in the game. You have a good World Cup, he's done well at MLS, people will come and buy you, people look at you, and he's got himself proud.
The Brisbane Roar, he's not been in MLS very long. Here he is again. A touch to Metcalf. Torre looking to ask some questions of Ibrahim.
Nearly got away from him. That little touch, he just needs another little touch away from him.
Metcalf. Hitch. Positive Australia, but you can just see they're mindful of Mo Salah lurking, that any loose balls, especially here.
But he doesn't look like he's going to run away from it. Mamouche is the one that I would worry, and that's why I think he should probably be in the middle. But they've got Mo Salah there, maybe because he hasn't got that explosive pace to run in with that hamstring, and he can also be 34 years of age. So he's maybe not going to make that run, so it's going to have to be with his feet.
Neil's ball flying true. And here's Chip Catley. Irvine's made the run. Here he is. Disappointment of not being selected to start against Turkey in the opening match. It was a big moment at the time. We were pitch side when we heard that news that he and Matt Ryan weren't starting. And Ryan's not had a look in since with this guy, Patrick Beach, the 22-year-old Melbourne City goalkeeper, was chosen instead. He never played in Australia. Australia only had 2 caps, both here in the United States against Venezuela in Houston, against Switzerland in San Diego, and that is 4 appearances here now. It's really been tested that much, has he, in this game?
So that first game he came across 30 shots from Turkey, but only 8 on target. He dealt with everyone very comfortable. I was really impressed with his distribution with his feet. And that's what they've done there, so they've got some young players.
Gatti looking for Truman.
That's what they're doing. Australia, they're grinding you down. They're grinding down. They never give up.
No, they never give up, that is for sure. Andrew, you said you never write off the Germans, and everyone says that in England. Australia again. Stitch. Neil and Metcalf. Hitch is always available on his near side, the 35-year-old left wing back. Johnny is late, and Geordie Boss, one of their key players, first off injured, carried down the tunnel with that ankle problem onto the challenge at the end of the first half.
Australia are running the legs out of the Egyptians. They keep bouncing around 2 touch, and just the body language of the Egyptian player, they got the chase to go down. They're not passing as a unit, they're getting picked up, and that's demoralising. It's not like you start again, you come out the other side.
Through and finding Kristich. Almost on the end of it. Neil.
Everyone going down with fatigue, he's pumping up. again, not played any minutes now. The substitute has had to come on. The regular left back is not there.
Their regular left back is out injured for the tournament, so this man has had to come in today, carrying Hafez.
Well, the sign straight away is make a substitution. He's exhausted.
He made a couple of subs in this game, 3 remaining.
Oh, what's that Trezeguet? What's the number 7 coming on? There's one for Gary, Jackie, on Monday.
It's in it, don't you worry. It's in the diary, don't you worry. United States against Belgium. So we'll just see what happened here. Situation, something non-contact related. But yeah, that game, US against Belgium, Monday on Fox, 8 p.m. Eastern, coverage beginning at 6 p.m. Eastern.
Does he go with Pepe? Does he go with Andy Wright? That's going to be a big call. Pepe has played a lot of minutes and a couple of starts. Wright, so I like his physical presence. He could be a difference maker as well. So they've got good options. I mean, Weston McKinney has been phenomenal for them this time out.
Yeah, that much is in Seattle. We're in Dallas. The big climax here. Mahmoud Trezeguet coming on, the 31-year-old winger of Al Ahly, having played in Turkey with Trabzonspor before that.
Well, they've gone 3 at the back, and that allows them to play with wing-backs, which is again another compliment to Australia. They've only got 1 striker, so they've got 3 centre-halves marking 1. It's all right, the striker should just play down the middle. But straight away, the 2 other centre-halves from Egypt will be close to him.
Well, you can't sleep through his last 10 minutes. Maybe or not, my goodness. Those air defenders must be a pretty good brand, that is all I can say.
I was going to say something there, I was going to go for Perry then.
That's been a long 3 minutes. 10 minutes of regulation time remaining in Dallas. Will we see a winner in 90? It goes to 30 minutes of extra time, or heaven forbid for them, a penalty shootout.
You can see with the Egyptian backs, they're really upset about the free kicks that they're giving away. And that's where you have to be disciplined. Like, you can't let another opportunity.
O'Neill's delivery, looking for Suter. Morbine's there, Metcalf.
Look at showing everywhere. There's the panic stations in the area every time. Shooters you would expect.
Through back into Toure. Big Suter still there. Just caught Rami Rabia as he went for that header.
He's gone for the ball, the big man. It's just gone with his presence, and you know it's coming. I mean, they're asking for a card. They think he's gone into it. You know he's coming for the ball. He's not attacked it. He's not put his arm up. He's not led with his arm. Ball's bouncing around, and he just attacked it.
His eyes on the ball there, didn't he? We've not seen any cards in this game so far. It's relatively unusual. But he's let the game flow, the referee.
He's brave enough to centre half. He's done well. Imagine that, with the balls above you, and he goes 6'5", while about 210 pounds coming flying at you.
And Scottish stroke Australian, which is quite the combination when it comes to desire on a sporting field. Sure. Someone's lurking in the centre. What can they create here? Truan's done well. Shikati trying to clear it. Okay.
Little things like that go for you as well. So again, we'll try and get in the ball like him. He's very lively, very dimensional, wants to take players on. You know, again, we haven't said his name. Salah, we haven't said the important players that you need to get on the ball. Trezeguet's come on, trying to make an impact, trying to utilise that left-hand side, Australia's right-hand side. You need to be players, they need to be moving.
We called the game here in this very stadium a few days ago, Norway against Ivory Coast. Ivory Coast had a lot of the ball. We didn't see much of Erling Haaland at all in that game. In fact, most of his touches were quite defensive ones. We just didn't see it. And then there he was, kind of almost accidentally came to him and he just nudged it. It was in, and that was it. That was the winning goal.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's not an accident that he comes along. Maybe right back, he didn't do a lot. He worked extremely hard for the team. But at the moment with Egypt, they've got the quality. It's just have they got the energy to match what Australia have done, because they're strong, they're athletic the way they work. They've got a great system of a 5-4-1. They've not allowed any balls into the strikers' feet from Egypt. So very similar to what we see with Turkey. You know, took their chance when they came along, they were efficient. And they said they don't mind scoring the ball.
They can make a party, Aussies.
So they're great. If you're going to have one, bring an Aussie. You just get start having 10 of them. You can't get rid of them. Once they're there, they're actually there for the whole weekend.
Travels all around Australia. I love Australian party. I'll tell you the stories later. Now we have 6 minutes remaining in Dallas of the regulation 90. Henry Shaw, this man here with a header and a free kick came back to him.
You can see what he's saying. I need runs, I need people to move. He wants to get on the ball, that's the coach's instruction, but he's not got people making that run. I said that a few times, Johnny. Sometimes you don't make the run to get the ball, but create space for someone else.
Henry. His first minutes of this World Cup off the bench, he's fresh enough. Decent looking cross as well. Shaw leaving it.
Keep feeding out this right-hand side, you know, get involved, get him on the ball, and leave the space for him.
Sounds good. Useful looking ball. Now Shaw loves to get a shot in whenever he can, but release it to Hassan. Hassan asking the questions and speech to the punch. Emphatically so.
Wonderful goalkeeper, made the decision, told his defenders that he was coming, and they got to let him come along. And don't forget, he's 22 years of age.
22 and 6'2", the Melbourne City goalkeeper. Biggest game of his life, iconic solo, Sam with the ball in. And away by Bristich. There's a few birthdays coming up. Next couple of days, O'Neill, Bristich, the head coach. Is he going to be a big party? Here they come again. Torres made the run to the back post. Nobody else in the centre. Now this is where it starts to get fun for the neutrals. 4 minutes on the clock. Remaining. Suter. True. Corner to Australia.
Yeah, just had to try and pick someone out, trying to sub that come on at half-time. He's grown into the game a little bit nervous earlier on, got caught out, but now he's looking forward. Shooter's a big captain as well, doing little quiet turns and then feeding the ball out to that right-hand side. Now they've all come forward. You can hear a pin drop now. You can just anticipate the all to our right-hand side where majority of the Egyptian fans are biting their nails and getting nervous. Aussies are getting excited.
Stitch standing by the delivery for Australia. Straight by True. In by Stitch. Metcalf is in there.
Oh, that was close.
Chipatty been penalised.
Just got a little bit of contact, doesn't have to be a lot. You go down. There's this little flick right there, but just trying to get someone into the far end and it bubbles around, actually bounces out. And you just feel like a little nudge in the back, there's enough, go down. It's really good. All the people that have created chances have all been lost. from Australia. There's not one Egyptian player that's created chances. I know with three.
Hassan's doing his best. The Christian, she's livid with him, saying that he dived.
I like it though. That's only taking people out. They've maybe gone down there. They've gone. Still got a little bit of life. I need to show you that something is with possession. There's a little bit of contact. Never a foul. Take him on again. He has got the ball. He's had a few step overs and maybe hasn't got the end product at the moment, but he has a player that's come on and trying to put a bit of an impact into the game.
Former France youth international and born in Paris to an Egyptian dad and Tunisian mum. All of his career playing in Europe. Not that many of the Egyptian players have played in Europe, something the head coach Hassan said yesterday, but he thinks it's higher level at AFCON, which they've won 7 times. He said he thinks that's harder to win than the European Championship, which is interesting, bearing in mind that they've won 7 AFCON tournaments, but they've never won a single game of the World Cup until they beat the lowest ranked side here in New Zealand, which is extraordinary, given their pedigree and the talent they've had over the years, including number 10, who's lurking between Suter and Harrington, just waiting for that opportunity to strike goals.
You can see down there the coach is saying movement. He wants the footback to go away and create the space, so he wants a little bit of movement up front with Mo Salah and Rush, and that hasn't been it. They haven't tested the three centre halves enough with the ball to their feet.
The fourth official was just switching on his board to tell us how much time will be added on, and it will be a minimum of 5 minutes. A little bit of corner to Egypt.
Yeah, I like that one. Just got in there, just a little bit more better quality with that header.
And this is Egypt's first corner of the game, and it's come in stoppage time, which is pretty extraordinary. Can they make it count? Hunter Salah has done really well to keep it in. Hassan, made by Harrington, the teenager.
Incredible start. 26 goals after 19 minutes. Wow.
So we're saying about the late drama in this World Cup. That's been incredible.
Over 70,000 people still in this stadium, and they're standing up looking because they know what this tournament has given.
Hassan. He's been really lively, really creative since coming on. Aussie hearts are in mouths now. That's short. And one of their best players, not just the goal scorer, is True, puts it out. He's also getting really frustrated, Ashore, screaming at his teammates for the lack of movement. Here he is again, Ashore. Now Haney.
Look, they've got no one, they've got one person in the penalty area. One person, they're trying to win the game. I mean, you don't need 3 or 4 holding midfield players.
Hassan. Played by Irvine, not quite where he had it in mind. Torre. Ooh, what's he done that? Just giving away a corner incredibly needlessly.
He was trying to play it off the Egyptian player, but it went horribly wrong. He's thinking in his mind now, please do not score. Whatever you do, don't score. And the last person you want on the ball is Mo Salah, because you know with that left foot.
Well, it took till stoppage time for them to get their first corner. Now it's their second corner on this near side, which means the left foot of Mohamed Salah. It's like a magic wand. Salah's delivery. Beach retreats. Suter with a touch. Harrington. In the air by Irvine. Salah again. He's hardly been in the game, and there are so many comparisons. Erling Haaland. What a ball into Salah! An astonishing
Well, that has to be the save of the tournament so far from a 22-year-old. He's only played a handful of games for Australia. Phenomenal save, the concentration.
And the pressure is piling on Beach's goal now. Now he's Salah. He only needs one chance. Didn't get the power and he's fuming with himself. Beach releasing it for Toure. Well, he has the pace, but not giving an opportunity there. And how relieved is Mo Toure?
Yes, exactly. He owes him a drink afterwards. But the header, the top, he's actually going to his right, and then with his left hand, he tips it away and doesn't put it into danger, gets it out from the danger. What a save that is. What a moment in the game.
He only had 2 caps before this World Cup, and he's just kept his nation in this competition and still alive with a chance of winning their first ever World Cup knockout game. But it's the same scenario for Egypt. And strike from Marwan, close down, quick as a flash by the Aussies.
Again, that's why they don't play like this earlier on. Egypt, they've got the players and they've got the skill to be able to do that.
High upfield by O'Neill, there's nobody there. And Kristich saying, I'm not over there, mate. I'm in the centre circle.
Popovic is saying to his backline, get up the field.
Well, we couldn't be more neutral in our hearts of Paladin. I'll speak for myself. Real opportunity for Egypt here. 10 seconds of the allocated stoppage time remaining before we potentially go into extra time. Mo Salah, who's come into the game, he's coming alive at a vital moment.
Oh, what a block.
Blocked by Harry Suter, another hero in green and gold.
Oh, just got his big thigh on the end of that. Wow. That was...
To avoid the extra time.
Wow, what an end to the half.
Well, there is the final whistle, and we are going to go to 30 minutes of extra time. Do not go anywhere, because the one thing we can guarantee for you is drama.
Huge stoppage time saved to keep Australia in this game. Egypt and Australia level, one apiece after regulation time this round of 32 contest. They are now heading for extra time in Dallas.
And Jackson now is opening slow.
Well, it's been a critical game. It's been a bad end from that. It's been
Australia been without one of their key players, Jordy Boss. He's a wing back, but very much an attacking one. Egypt has been striking for time.
want to play against the World Cup Messi, and you've got goalkeepers at 40 years of age, and one's got to watch him. You're not going to Messi in Argentina, that won't be long. You know, watching the other country, that question of who's going to get his shot at the end of the day, one thing I would like the other one's got to give that message to somebody else.
Australia scored from an own goal from a set piece.
Hey. We're going to shootout. Oh, not yet. We're going to shootout. And now, let the shootout game begin. Yes. Yes! 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 That means Egypt, you gotta get this next goal to win the game. Is Egypt the score goal? Come on! We win! Yeah!